How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Lorbeck Luxury Cars Friday Drives. A really special video. No driving for me this week, which is a shame given the cars that are behind me that we're going to feature today, but we've got three very special Porsches and some that are incredibly rare too. First up is the 993 Turbo. Super special car, and particularly because this is a manual, and not just that, this has the X50 pack, so producing well over 400 brake horsepower, an extra package that helped the engine tuning for the turbo, the all-wheel drive system, and historically they call this car the Widowmaker because it's so freaking fast, and in the manual is super fun and engaging. And I've been lucky enough to drive one in the UK when I was living there, and these things are incredible. And on top of that, the paint on this, it might look black in some scenes, but it's actually got the sort of charcoaly grey look, and the colour is super special too. You're sitting in the interior, it feels like you're in a sort of a bit more of a classic car in comparison to the cars behind us, which I would say a bit more of a modern classic. But the dials, the dash, everything, and the way these things drive is amazing. That all-drive system is super impressive, and I love the manual gearbox. The carbon fibre detailing on here as well is super nice, and very rare for cars of that period. Nowadays you've got carbon everywhere because it's a lot easier, but actually the fact that this has carbon pieces inside of it for the era that this car's from is crazy to me. I've very rarely ever seen one with that option ticked, and it's just in pristine condition. You look at the leather, you look at just how well it's been kept. It's been in a private collection for the three of these cars, and these are amazing. Next up, we've got the next generation of Turbo, 997. So skipping 996, straight to 997. It's got the traditional headlights, not the egg yolks that you see a lot, which in my opinion are slightly underrated, but that's just me. But these 997s, same thing, turbo, more importantly, a manual again. This one's got 25,000 kilometers on it since new, and it is so impressive. That GT silver kind of vibe, the classic Porsche look, the wing on the back, and the performance of these, again, just taken to a whole another level. A little bit better handling. The systems in these cars in comparison to the 993 is a lot different. You've got better ABS systems, you've got better straight traction and stability systems, but these things are incredible. I've driven quite a lot of the automatics and they're amazing, but in the manual it's even better. Now that I'm sitting in here, it feels a lot more like a modern Porsche in comparison to that 993. You've got the Bose speakers, you've got a lot more carbon fiber in the car, so on the wheel, on the handbrake, and on the gear lever, a little bit more so than the 993, but it feels like a modern classic, and with that manual in the turbo, it's super rare. They're so hard to find, and if you do find one, quite often they've got a lot of kilometers on them. They've been driven for a long time, whereas this one, 24,000 kilometers, just under that 25 mark, is amazing value, and they're a car that is going to hold incredibly well over time as well. To finish off, one of my absolute all-time favorite cars, the 997 GT3 RS. This one is a .1. There's a fair few less of these that came into the country than the .2. The .2 had a bit of bigger run of opportunity to buy at the time, and in this black and orange kind of detailed, I think it looks amazing. It's not typically in there. I like a bit more understated cars, but just on this car, it has to be a bit louder. It has to be something special. And in the manual gearbox, you've got the cage in the back. We're going to feature that in a minute. These things are amazing. I've never had the privilege of driving one on track, but probably rightly so. This car has 6,000 kilometers on it. This has been a collector's item, and it is a collector's item. This car is one of those vehicles that over time is just going to get better and better and better. And also, quite often we've found with certain generations of cars between different brands, they become more scarce, which is exactly what's going to happen with these ones, where this is the only .1 on the market at the moment, and there's probably 3 or 4 .2s, and the fact that they made less .1s tells you that this is one of the cars to have, and they're a real collector's item of any Porsche enthusiast. And now we're sitting in the interior. It's actually a little bit different to the turbo. It just feels a bit more analog in here. You've got the bucket racing seats, you've got the harness that I would strap to myself into, but I'm not going to drive anywhere. You've got I love the detailing of the orange roll cage as well, and then that manual gearbox. You imagine tearing one of these cars up around the track. It would be unbelievable, but at 6,000 kilometers, I wouldn't dare take it any further than I can do. And I'm sitting in this car and it just has such history, you know, like you got the Alcantara steering wheel, it's near perfect still. The gear stick, still basically perfect. It's hardly been driven. It's been so well looked after, and these cars are super, super special. And particularly in certain circles, these are regarded as one of those cars that is just going to hold and keep going forever because they're so, so special. And that's it for another episode of our Lawbet Luxury Cars Friday Drives. An amazing selection of cars and a group of collector's items, and that's really what they are, between the kilometers and the specialness of these things and the rarity in particular. I mean, you look at the selection, it's super incredible. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for the next episodes.